What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to my channel, Money Moves with Kay. I'm Kay, and today we have a very special guest that's going to talk about home inspections. His name is Maurice, and he owns Q&A Home Inspections right out of North Carolina. The first portion of our interview is going to kind of discuss the ins and outs as far as trying to be a home inspector. That may be something that you're interested in as a profession. And also the second part of the interview will discuss the ins and outs of a home inspection, what it entails from A to Z. What do you need to look for as a home buyer, especially for those for first-time home buyers? All right. So without further ado, I'll let him introduce himself and kind of get into the interview.
Hello.
What's going on, Maurice?
What's going on? I'm Maurice Quick, and like I said, I'm the owner of Q&A Home Inspections, and just come here to see if I can give you guys a little insight about the home inspection business.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how did you get in the industry?
Well, I started out as I drove trucks for probably about 20 years, and I was getting to the point where I was wanting to make a change and do something different. So I had bought a house, and the inspector came by and he inspected the house. I got a report, and I was interested because he looked like he knew what he was doing, but it didn't look like it was that hard. So I was like, that might be something I might be interested in. So I talked to him. He gave me the lowdown on what I needed to do, which was go to a school, one of the greatest schools in home inspections, is actually here in Burlington, North Carolina. It's called the Home Inspection Center in Burlington, North Carolina. Okay. I went to that school, passed everything that needed to be passed, actually got licensed through the state of North Carolina. Did a couple of inspections, well, probably maybe 100 inspections with different home inspectors, trying to learn my own method of doing the home inspection myself. And after that, I ventured out on my own, and things have been doing well.
Awesome. So that home inspection center is in Burlington, North Carolina. How long have you been doing it again? How long have you been a home inspector?
It's been right at 3.5, right at 4 years now.
Awesome. Yeah. And the reason why I even contacted Maurice, you is because you're a minority male and you served in the military as well. So thank you for your service. But there are not many minority home inspectors. There are not many appraisers either. So that's always intriguing to me, to contact or reach out to connect, network with folks who are actually in the industry who are minority. So that's really cool to me.
Yes. And that's actually, there's thousands of home inspectors in North Carolina, but that's actually my niche because I am a minority home inspector. I look for minority realtors, I try to have a whole network of not minority realtors and everybody that's in the business. And you look for people that love what they're doing and do a good job at it. And I try to associate myself with those type of people and hang around with those type of people in this industry. So me being a minority and doing a good job, not just being a minority, but doing a good job. I mean, I'm a home inspector. I'm a black home inspector, but I'm a good home inspector, good black home inspector.
There you go.
So that's the thing you have to do. You don't take that for granted, that just because you're black and you think someone's black, they should use you. You need to do your due diligence and do a good job for them. So that's one thing that I try to pride myself on.
That's perfect. So real quick, because this kind of may go into the second portion of the interview, but I do want to know, what are some good questions? If I'm looking for a home inspector, what should I ask? What should I be looking for as a consumer?
Well, you want to know how long he's been in the business. You want to know where his training, where he or she has gotten their training from. And you want to know if they're part of any type of organization, because there's different organizations out here that help homeowners as far as education, furthering their education and things like that. And you want to make sure they're up to date on their CE classes, make sure they're taking all of their continuing education, because that's important as well, to always continue to educate yourself in this business, because things change all the time.
Perfect. Excellent advice. Excellent. So what's your average day look like? So you wake up, what time, and then what time?
Yeah, I wake up, get coffee, kiss the wife, get out. My first inspection is usually around 9 a.m. Okay. So that takes anywhere from, depend on the square footage of the home. That can be anywhere from an hour and a half to a 2.5 to 3 hour inspection. I finish up there around 11:30 or 12. Do a little bit of paperwork, and then after that, usually have another inspection scheduled at 2 p.m. So I get time to do a little paperwork and time to travel to the next inspection. Finish that one up. I'm usually finished up probably around about 4:30 or 5 that day, and usually it's probably maybe 2 and 3 hours of paperwork at the end of the day. So my day is probably between a 12 and 14 hour day easily if I have
Ooh.
two inspections.
And
But the big, yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's the other side people don't talk about. You're going to talk a little bit about numbers in a
Oh
second,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
like that's work. You have to put in the work, and that's a lot of work. That's a long day.
That's a long day. I mean, I enjoy the 2 day inspections, but I really enjoy some of the 1 day inspections too. So, it gives me a little break. So, and I'm blessed to even be talking about having 2 inspections a day. That's another thing. I mean, business has been so good that I do have 2 inspections a day. So I'm blessed on that as well.
Wow. So I look at, guys, I'm talking to the YouTube audience. I look at home inspectors as like batteries to a remote control. I'm explaining.
Okay,
Because when you
okay.
purchase a home, especially for a VA, right? But any home in general, the lending institution, the bank really wants to see that inspection as well because they're lending to you. They want to make sure that it's going toward an asset that is going to be profitable, but not only profitable, but just legit and sound and good to go, G to G, right? So the batteries are you, right?
Yeah,
Because
okay.
buy a home, what you need next? An appraisal, and you need an inspector. So
Yeah.
that's the battery. In order to make that remote control work, you're the battery. So I think that's really cool. I love inspections in general. I actually did a couple courses to be an inspector, but I was like,
Really?
yeah, I was like, because I wanted to know more information on my end as an investor. I wanted to know like our what is it, our value and all this other stuff. And I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to really
Yes.
get into like because that was kind of my weakness as far as being a wholesaler and a real estate investor is like knowing the repairs. Like when I walk into a home, how do I know this house has foundation issues, right? What do I look for? So I said, let me educate myself. And I did a couple, I need to get back into it. That's why I said I did.
Yeah.
I just think that's very vital to know what you're actually getting into. Which leads me to my next question is like how profitable, you don't have to give your exact numbers, but like how profitable is the home inspection business?
Well, the average home inspection is between 350 and probably $600, and I can do two a day. So
You
I mean, you do the math on that, and I've been doing two a day for a while now.
perfect.
So you do the math on that. And the thing I like about it, I used to, well, I still have, we have a trucking company that we do,
Hmm.
that we have as well. But the thing about this home inspection thing is the overhead. The only overhead that I have is driving my truck and the tools that I buy that I've bought when I first started the business. Whenever I was in, well, the trucking industry, you've got fuel, you've got insurance, you've got all that you've got to take out. I mean, once you in the inspection business, once you pay your yearly insurance and you pay everything yearly, all you have to do is worry about getting to the inspection, make sure you have the right tools. So that's a lot of money that you get to actually pocket instead of that money going out to other things that need to be taken care of.
That's perfect. So how much, like you mentioned some of those things that you need in order to be a successful home inspector. Like what does that cost, right? So if I want to be a home inspector, I know I'll get between 3 in North Carolina. And it could it vary per state, or is that pretty much average, 350 to $600 for?
From what I've looked, that's about average. That's about average.
Okay, so I want to be an inspector. I know that's my range of what I could profit or receive. So what do I need to put into the business? You mentioned those things you need to put into the business
Well,
as purchase.
you, okay, you need to first education. I mean, the two biggest things of home inspection, the tools aren't really that expensive. You can get tools for a little bit of nothing, but you need to educate yourself in marketing. Those are the two biggest things in this business. Marketing is probably 75% of this business because
Mm.
you've got thousands of home inspections out here, and it's just who do you prefer and who do you feel comfortable with. So marketing is a big part of this business. Once you learn what you're doing, marketing is next. And then the tool you can buy tools. Tools, I mean, they can range anywhere from buying $150 worth of tools to you can get up to buying infrared cameras for thousands of dollars. Or I've got drones, so you can can be expensive, but those things that are beneficial to the job, but you don't have to have. You can get your ladder and you can walk the roof. You don't need, or you can check the roof out with your ladder. You don't need a drone. So,
Gotcha. So how long does that take for the certification process? So if I'm ready to start, you know, I can go to the center that you mentioned or other places. There are online courses as well. But like,
Yes.
what's how much time does that take to be certified?
I think the whole process was probably a 6-month period to actually do. It's not a long period. I mean, it's I think it's maybe 180, maybe 200 credit hours that you have to do, book hours, and then you have to do some of the in the field training. You have to have so many hours. But they changed the law some years ago that where at one time you had to have 100 inspections to actually be licensed and be official. But they changed that to where you don't have to have those 100 inspections anymore. So that's a good thing. So I would say getting licensed, and the license part is pretty much once you is the easy part.
Okay.
I think because once you do the book work and you're licensed, now you got to actually get in the field and figure out how to do the home inspection, how to do your job without upsetting the realtor as well and running off their customer. So
gotcha. Now, this is my last question on the business side of it. What advice would you give yourself starting over, or what's something that you wish you knew that you didn't know, whether good or bad? Like, what is something that you say, hey, you need to watch out for this, or this is excellent, those pros and cons for the profession?
I would say the marketing thing is something I didn't know. I thought if I'm just a good home inspector, people say, hey, he's a good home inspector. And you should know, you should just come and use me.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize how much marketing was involved in this. I did not realize that. If I would have known that, I would have got more involved in the marketing earlier. I would say in the training, just learn as much as you can. Learn as much as you can.
Okay. And marketing, what's your primary source of marketing? Is it Google?
I use Google. I use Facebook. We've got a team that actually digs into these algorithms, and they deal with the stuff behind the scenes, and they take care of those type of things. So we have a marketing, I guess you could say a marketing firm that deals with our marketing.
Perfect. And that's scaling your business, right? You can't do it all by yourself. You're out in the field. So you have people behind the scenes saying, I'll send your emails, I'll do this. Because a lot of times I think I'm communicating, I think with your wife via email or somebody via email to say, hey, because he's out in the field, I got you, right? So that's scaling your business because you're making money. That's excellent. Yes. So let's switch gears towards the home buying process. What all goes into a home inspection? You kind of mentioned this. This was a question that one of my viewers had, but when you go to a house, what are you looking for?
Well, when I go to a house, I start my inspection starts when I get on that street. I'm looking at the roof and the year of the houses that's actually on that street, trying to see what the neighborhood is like, kind of see what's going on with that area. So my inspection starts when I get in the neighborhood. Once I get into the area, to the home, I'm checking. I'm just doing an overview of the house once I first get there. But after that, the home inspection is a complete inspection of the home. It starts from the roof all the way down to the foundation, also the ground. So I'm checking to make sure that water doesn't it flows away from the foundation of the home. I'm checking to make sure that the roof is the shingles are correct. Make sure there's drip edge there. Just make sure everything is correct with the roof. I'm checking attics, insulation. I'm checking shingles. I'm checking OSB. We're checking everything as far as attic structure, everything, electrical, plumbing, HVAC systems, furnace. It's probably 11, 12 things that I'm going to check. Ventilation. There's quite a few things that we check as far as a home inspection. And it's a pretty thorough home inspection.
Awesome. And can you run down any tips you may have for first-time home buyers or just investors in general? Because now we know what you're looking for. What are some tips for, let's say I'm purchasing a home? What can I do to make sure that my inspection passes? And then we'll talk about what happens if you fail the inspection, then what happens. But
this type of inspection is not a pass or a fail inspection. Okay. This is more of an inform you of what you got going on with that property.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's really not a pass or fail. So once you hire me, you're in your due diligence period basically, and you basically want to say, hey, what's going on with this house before I make this big purchase? So I will come in there and I'm going to tell you everything that's going on with that home. You don't really pass or fail. You just basically know what's going on with that home as far as your heating system, as far as insulation, your crawl space, if you need soil covers, that type of thing. So I'm basically going to tell you top to bottom, any cracks, any foundation issues I find. I'm going water heater issues, furnace, it's just a whole list of things that I just check right now. My mind's going blank, but
Okay.
I'm going to check everything that with that house to make sure everything's correct. And then you're going to take that report that you get from me, and you're going to talk with your realtor or whoever that you're dealing with, and you guys are going to basically decide, hey, is this worth the money that we need, that we're investing in this, or is there anything that they can do as far as making repairs to this? That's the type of thing that you're going to do when you get my report.
Right. Because when we purchased this particular property, the water heater needed to be replaced. And at the end of the day, if a seller could get by without doing any work, they would try to, right?
Yes,
But
yes.
no, we came back to the seller was like, no, that needs to be fixed. This needs to be fixed, that, per the inspection, right? And they were able to
Yes.
fix it. Otherwise, we wouldn't have moved in. And that was a time in which we had a lot more leverage as a buyer to make those
Yes.
demands. Not maybe not necessarily now, but that's very, very key to know that, hey, this is the inspection. You can do with it as you may, but that inspection piece is the batteries. I'm telling everybody. So the remote works because you need it.
Yes, you definitely need the inspection. You need the inspection.
Absolutely. We answer that. Is there anything home inspectors are not required to do?
There's quite a few things. They're not. If I come into your house and there's carpet, like there's a throw rug down, or there's something that's obstructing the attic for me to get in there, I'm not obligated to move or pull anything away from, like the carpet away from the floor to see if there's any damage there, or move that homeowner's belongings, because that is still their home. You know, we got some people don't realize that they feel like they're buying a house, they can just go in there and check everything out. That's still someone's home. So I'm not obligated to move anybody's furniture or anything like that. Things like that. So that's one of the things. There's quite a few, but that's one of the things that I like to tell people. I don't go in the house moving furniture to check out for the home inspection.
So if my house is furnished, I'm in the process of moving or selling the property, what would you recommend to me? Just remove all the furniture, so that because if I'm paying $350 to $600, I want a thorough, which you will provide a thorough inspection. So I want to make sure that everything's clear so you can get to it and really assess what's wrong. So would you recommend that it just kind of be empty if possible, or how would I navigate as a homeowner to make sure that you get every nook and cranny, to make sure that the inspection goes pretty well?
It would be great for the house to be empty, but that's not always the case. That would be lovely. But what I would recommend is to pull everything away from the walls, and for me to have access to everything. All doors unlocked, all locks are unlocked, just so I can have access to everything. And another thing, make sure you have all light bulbs or in lights, because if there's not a light bulb in the light fixture, I'm going to have to call it out, and it's just a light bulb. So those are little things that I try to tell the sellers that to look out for whenever they're doing whenever there's a home inspection going on.
Awesome. And lastly, any final tips for first-time home buyers? A lot of folks are beginner real estate investors that watch my channel. Any last tip that you may have to say, hey, watch out for this or do this or that?
As far as, I would say, just do your homework. That's the key. Know what you're getting involved in. If you have to pay a home inspector $350 to $600 and you're about to make $150,000 to $350,000 investment, I recommend you do that, because you're about to make a big investment, and home inspection for $350 to $600 is not a bad investment on a property that you're about to purchase. Another thing is, make sure you have people in your corner that know what they're talking about as well. Make sure you get a reputable realtor if you're going to deal with a realtor, or someone like that, because I'm a home inspector, but the thing that I push mostly is I want to see everybody that looks like me in a home, because it's more than buying a home. It's more of what we call building generational wealth. That's what it is, because if you buy a house, your kids don't have to start from dirt. You see what I'm saying? They have somewhere that they can go. So that's my message that I'm always pushing. So it's more than buying a house. It's more about generational wealth. So your kids can have somewhere to start, so they don't have to start where you started. You know what I mean?
Perfect. Yes. Yes, Lord.
Mhm.
That's what we preach on this channel all the time. In fact, I just
Yeah,
did a video on a UTMA, which talks about how to, create generational wealth for your family, for your kids, and just in general, we preach real estate because these four
absolutely.
walls present power. It presents options. I can sell it, I can rent it, I can Airbnb, I can, it's options.
Absolutely.
And without it, and it's an asset. That's first,
Yeah,
but
yes,
yeah,
yes,
so many options, and we just love real estate. But yeah,
yes, yes. So that's what I preach. I mean, that's I'm a home inspector, but that's also one of the things that I'm also pushing.
perfect, perfect. Maurice, has been a great interview. Before we leave, though, I really want you to go ahead and pitch or whatever you got going on, your business.
Okay.
I'll link everything below, guys. So if you are in the area and you want to contact him to do your home inspection, he has excellent reviews, by the way. Go ahead and pitch everything you got going on with your business.
All right, my name is Maurice Quick, Q&A Home Inspections. If you're looking for a quality home inspector, we're in the area, Triad area. We also travel if you need us to travel. Even if you're looking for something, if you say, hey, I'm in the home purchase or thinking about purchasing and I just don't know where to go. I've got contacts that I know realtors. I've got so many contacts of people that can help you. So my part of the real estate buying process is like step 7, 8, 9. So if you need help at step 1, we can also help with that. I mean, there's so many things that we could do out here as far as home inspection is something I do, but it reaches a lot further than that though. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. All right, guys. I'm gonna link his information below if you want to reach out to Mr. Quick. Other than that, you guys stay blessed. Peace.
Peace.